What is up, everybody? It's the mailman, Jimmy Milstead, the commissioner of the league, Fantasy Hockey. And it is TNT Wednesday, February 21st, 2024. This is episode 14 of the Storks Desk. Joining me live from Canada. We haven't seen you guys for a few weeks. We've been trying to put together shows, but there's just so much going on in life. But I'm happy to be joined by my boy, the deputy of the league, the deputy commish, Kevin Stork of the Langley Scorpions, the red hot Langley Scorpions. This guy is on a tear, guys. He's back in it. The playoff races are heating up. We've only got 3 weeks left. Storky, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Glad that hockey's back in the full swing again. And in our league, here we are in week 19. We're partway through it. We have quite the dog race for those last playoff spots. And it's going to be an exciting finish. So I'm real happy about that. That's the way we want it, all that parity in this league. A couple of teams didn't do too well this year, but the rest of the teams are right in that playoff hunt.
Yeah, there's only 2 teams officially eliminated by our calculations. I think you mentioned that Nick's still alive. I can't remember, but
he's mathematically still alive, but he has to win out. He has to win all 3 of his games, obviously, and hope for a lot of help. So yeah, his chances are slim and none, really.
Yeah, the last time we talked to you was before the All-Star break. We were amongst the extended week 17. So let me go over those scores real quick, Storky, because the last time we talked to you was right after the All-Star game, and we were still in the extended week of week 17. We had some banger matchups and some big-time wins. The Cherry Bombs, Alex, she is just as hot as you. She is red hot. 15-5 winners over me. Ad Americans. We took it on the chin during that 9 or 10-day week. That was a tough matchup. I had to face McDavid and a plethora of her talented roster. I don't have her roster in front of me, but she kicked my butt, buddy. 15-5, and she is threatening for the Ovechkin division. You, sir, the Langley Scorpions, 14-7 winners over Julio's Huma. That was a big-time matchup, a big divisional game and win for you. Julio still ahead of you in the standings. You helped your cause out there. The champions, DB Cooper, they scraped and clawed back. They haven't lost in weeks, buddy. They get a tie out of this one. Nick's Frozen Norsemen were able to escape with a tie. Nick played Mark very well this season, but a 10-10 draw there. We've had a few ties this year, but that was a very good competitive game. DB Cooper, he's mustered that a few times here these past few weeks where he's come back from behind. The Woody Woodpeckers, the Ovechkin division leaders, they had a big 13-7 win over the Washington Wendigo in that extended week. That was a tough loss for Whalen. He's a very good team. He could ill afford a loss there, but he is still very much alive for that division title. But he would have helped his cause out beating Mark, and he lost. Prober Etiquette got a big win. He's been up and down this whole season. 10-8 win over Tim's DuPont Pipelayers. Dave has owned Tim throughout the existence of our fantasy league. And then the Killer Bunnies. This team is, competitive, but they are winless for the century in the Ovechkin division. The new team, Dan Hall's Killer Bunnies, lost by 1 point to Nova Fire Braids. Scott Lanham, he's on the outs right now. I think he's pretty much almost done as well. He got a big win there in that week 17. Last week, guy, this was a huge week. The matchup of the week was that DB Cooper Probert Etiquette match, Stork. DB Cooper, once again, claws and scratches. Dave had the lead going into Sunday. And until the last NHL game of that Sunday night, I believe it was Colorado and Arizona. Colorado ekes it out. Mark Raymond, the champions, get another win. They are 14-3-1, buddy. 10-9 winners over Dave's Probert Etiquette. Dave drops to 9-9. Has never beaten Mark Stork. He is 0-6 lifetime in this league. He had the victory.
It was a goalie loss that got him.
That's right. He had Kirill Vamelka.
Yeah, and he lost, so that was it for him.
So that was a big actually a big game for you because you're now ahead of Dave, I believe, right?
Yes, I'm sitting in 7th right now.
Yeah, we'll get to the standings in a minute, but that was a big victory there, and it was an entertaining match of the week, Don Cherry's match of the week. Yours truly battled Mark Wood, the Woody Woodpeckers, and beat Mark 11-10 by a hair, a whisker. And this Jimmy and the Americans have had success against Woody Woodpeckers this year, winning the series 2-1. But man, Mark gave me his best shot.
And the Cherry Bombs are thanking you.
Yeah, I needed that victory to stay alive for a playoff spot, and Adna is still in the 6th spot, clinging. That was a much-needed win. So a great matchup, Mark Wood. You, sir, the Langley Scorpions just clobbered Nick. No wonder Nick doesn't want to come on this show. 16-3, Storky.
He's a little swollen right now.
Yeah, he got
the
stung.
Ice on the head right now.
What is your winning streak at? You are at 9-8-1, and man, you have really Don Cherry likes you. We'll show Don Cherry's rankings in a minute, but he has you in the playoffs if you were to look at his ranking system. But what's your winning streak at, Langley?
I'm sitting at 4 in a row, but all 4 of those games were huge lopsided scores. So my team is really on the roll. The goals. Oh, sorry. The goal scoring is crazy right now, and led by Austin Matthews, of course. And I'm getting hot right at the right time where I need to be. Keeps me in the race, and I got a big game this week with DB Cooper, which we'll talk about in a little bit here. But yes, go on with the rest of the scores for week 18.
Yeah, this one hurt Nick bad. He dropped to 6-10-2. He's got a couple of ties, but man, Nick needed that one. He's going to need a miracle right now. Where are we at? The Cherry Bombs, another. They ended up sweeping the Killer Bunnies, a 17-2 win for Alex. She beat Dan Hall 18-1 earlier this season as well, and another big victory. So she's had success in the Ovechkin division, and she is rolling at 10-6-2. By the way, DB Cooper swept Probert. You had a 1-1-1 series, right, with Nick?
Yes, this year.
And Jimmy beat Mark Wood 2-1 this year. So a 17-2 win for Cherry Bombs. She is on a collision course with Mark Wood. They play the last game of the year. That could be for the division title.
It could be for the division title. It's going to be exciting. They're 2 points difference there in the Ovechkin division.
Huma, he had a big win against DuPont Pipelers. I don't remember if he swept them or not. But 11-8, Huma gets it done when he needed it. He is at 10-7-1. And like we said, DuPont's just trying to play spoiler 3-15. They get the Adna Americans next week. But right now they're in the spot where you don't want to be, the league tuna, where you got to help pay for the league trophy to be shipped. But the way things are going, it might stay in Portland, Oregon, because there's 2 teams down there.
Not.
Yeah, I know Langley.
I
know Adna and Langley don't want that to happen, but I don't know what the percentages of. I'm not a good math person, but Cherry Bombs down there in Portland and the defending champions, they have a hold on that trophy right now. If it's staying there, so it might not need help shipped, but we'll see. But DuPont, they just can't get out of the last place hole there. And then a big divisional win for Washington when Dingo Whalen goes to 10-7-1. He got a big win over Scott Lanham. Nova Fire Brigade, a down year after winning last year's Ovechkin title. and runners up in the Stork Championship, but big loss, 14-5. Wayland is right there for the division title as well. So that is what it looked like, Stork, coming into this week's matchups. Let's take a look at this week's matchups, and then I'll go over the standings. This is TNT Wednesday in the States, day 3 of our week 19 divisional rivalry week. The last time we'll play these teams until the playoffs, if you get a matchup between these two division rivals. But right now, the matchup of the week, we have it as Don Cherry said, Langley Scorpions and DB Cooper. Right now, DB Cooper's up on you 14-5, Storky. We'll talk about your match in a minute. The Woody Woodpeckers, they are ahead 10-9 over the Killer Bunnies. So we'll see if Dan Hall can snap his winless divisional drought. He has yet to win a divisional game in his league existence. Huma is pounding Probert Etiquette 16-5. Dave needs this one bad. He is taking his lumps right now. Jimmy and the Americans are trailing Washington Wendigo 9-8. After Washington had a huge Monday, a President's Day Monday, JT Miller was a big part of that. Jimmy had a big Tuesday, so he came back a little bit and is only down by 1 here as we go into night 3. So that should be a banger of a matchup heading towards the rest of the week. Cherry Bombs, they need this one bad. They've had success against Scott. They lead 11-8. This one would really hinder Scott for the rest of the season if he can't get this win. So I'm actually rooting for Nova to get back into it. I know he's behind me, but let's bring the Cherry Bombs back to the pack here. And the Frozen Norsemen, they are actually pounding DuPont 13-5. So Nick, last gasp of air here in the season, he's going pretty good right now. Do you want to talk about matchup, Stork, or do you want to go over standings right now?
Well, let's do the standings, and then we'll talk about the matchups this week.
All right. Yeah, the only official playoff clinching is DB Cooper. I thought Mark Wood had clinched, but Yahoo doesn't have an asterisk next to him, so
no,
he's as good as in, I would think.
Yeah.
But let's go to the Ogretzky division first, buddy. 14-3 is Mark Raymond, the defending champions. Just they've been on top of John Cherry's standings, and they're on top of the Yahoo standings. 14-3-1. They had that one tie, but other than that, they've been golden. 29 standings points, and they are 9-3-1 in the division, man. Mark Raymond has made 93 moves, so he is an active manager. Right behind him, Huma, not going to get that division title, but he's at 10-7-1. Pretty good division record for Julio, 8-5. He does not have a tie in the division, but 21 standings points for Julio. He's looking to make his first playoffs. The Langley Scorpions are back in it, but guys, overall, the 7th seed, 9-8-1 though. Well done job there by the deputy Kevin Stork. 6-6-1. He's making that division record a lot better. 19 standings points. Probert Etiquette right behind Stork at 9-9. 7-6 in the division is what is killing Dave. He's got pretty much 18 standings points. Frozen Norseman 6-10-2. Nick has been struggling in the division. He's only 4-7-2. 14 standings points for the Frozen Norseman. And DuPont brings up the rear at 3-15. Just 3-10 in the division and 6 standings points. Ovechkin. This one's tight. Mark Wood of the Woody Woodpeckers looking for his first ever playoff berth in the league fantasy hockey after being on the outside last year. He is 12-6, 24 standings points. He's got a pretty good division record, 9-4. The Cherry Bombs, 10-6-2, right on the heels of Mark. 8-4-1 in the division, 22 standings points. She is just 2 back. The Wendigo is right behind her at 10-7-1, 7-5-1 in the division, and 21 standings points. Wayland's got eyes on that division as well. Adna right behind Wayland at 9-7-2. Jimmy, a very good divisional record, 8-3-2, 20 points. Needs to keep winning. Nova Fire Brigade took a hit. They are 7-9-2, only 4-7-2 in the division with 16 standings points. And then bringing up the rear, eliminated is the Killer Bunnies. The first-year team is only 3-15. 0-13 is Dan Hall, looking for his first divisional win this week. 6 standings points. What stands out to you, Storky?
Oh, well, like we talked about earlier, as far as the Ovechkin division, and like you mentioned, Washington, don't forget them in that race in the Ovechkin division. Obviously, they need to probably win out for any chance, but it's pretty much a 3-team race there in the Ovechkin division. And week 21, huge match for the Woodchucks, or the Woodpeckers, I should say, and the Cherry Bombs. They're going head to head. I'm not sure what their season record is against each other, but that game is mega huge. And of course, Washington will be watching that game closely, as they have a couple of tough games. They've got Adna, your team, this week, and then they finish off with the Norsemen and the Killer Bunnies. So they have a chance to sweep the week, or the next 3 weeks, and make that race really interesting. So, yeah, my eyes are right now sitting on the Ovechkin division. It's a real fun race to watch.
Yeah. Well, as you can see, the Don Cherry rankings are out, and there really wasn't a lot of change, just a little bit in the middle. As you can see, DB Cooper continues to roll. I don't remember the last time he wasn't in the first place spot there on the Vine. Mark Wood lost last week, but he still has him at 2. Cherry Bombs moved up, or no, they stayed at 3, and so did the Wendigo at 4. Very strong top 4 there. And I also would throw Huma in there as well. They've been probably the most consistent clubs. Teams where they're up and down, fluctuating too much. You're in a good way. You've turned it around. Don Cherry has you up at number 6, buddy. He really likes you more than Adna. He's still waiting for Adna to. I don't know what it is. They didn't have strong goaltending off this week, but we have strong goaltending. Gonna have to finish this. It's strong. Hellebuck threw up a dud on night 1 against the Wendigo, but Cherry's expected more out of Adna. And he's disappointed in Dave a lot. Number 8 seed for Probert, usually a top 4-3 team. Just hasn't been able to. He started the season 5-0, Stork.
Yeah.
I know
he
Jack
struggled
Hughes,
the last few weeks, so.
Yeah. I know he's frustrated with this captain, Timo Meyer. I don't even know if he's still on his team. I got to check to see if he's even on his roster. He was awarded the captaincy. Timo Meyer, a big reason Probert Etiquette is where he is right now, but pretty much consistent the rest of the way. Norseman, Nova Fire Brigade, and the Killer Bunnies and DuPont. Killer Bunnies are ahead of DuPont from their head-to-head match. Dan Hall beat DuPont Pipelers, but I totally forgot what I was going to say, Storky, as far as these. Oh, next week, 1 week from today, is the league trade deadline, February 28th. So there's only been like 1 or 2 deals this year. This is more of a league where you're picking up players via free agency off the wire, but we haven't had too many trades. So if you're going to get your trades in as we enter week 20 next week, Wednesday, noon Western, 3 p.m. Eastern, is when you got to get all your trades in. So we'll see how that works. We'll probably be doing another STORKSDESK by then, and we'll cover any trades that go down. But do you plan on making any deals, Stork?
I'm pretty happy with my team as it is right now. I picked up another piece this morning. I picked up the red hot Sean Monahan.
Ooh,
and he's liking Winnipeg. He's all of a sudden he's been rekindled. And as you know, I mean, Monahan's only played for Canadian teams.
That's interesting.
Of course, he was one of the stars in Calgary, and then he kind of just filtered out in Montreal. I don't think he liked the pressure of playing with the big lights and the spotlights and everybody looking at you. I think it affected his game, but he's found himself again in Winnipeg. He's enjoying it there.
Yeah, he's an interesting case. There's a couple teams that could have probably used his services, but he scored a natural hat trick the other night. Did you have him at that point?
Yes. No, I got him early this morning.
Okay, yeah, you mentioned it. Okay, yeah, he's done very well. He fits in nicely. Winnipeg's power play, and there's probably because of the rivalry. I know Boston could have used him, probably because Montreal maybe they didn't want to trade him to Boston, but I know Boston could have used that as a third line center.
Can you
Um,
see Montreal trading with Boston?
I
They
know, I
hate
know. I
they
wonder how
hate
many.
each other.
I wonder how many deals throughout history they've done.
They wouldn't sell each other their snot.
Yeah, because I know Boston and Buffalo have made very few deals throughout
Yeah,
history.
they don't they have a rivalry.
Yeah,
So
but that's a very good pickup. Speaking of the Jets, I had a very good pickup yesterday. Gabe Vilardi. I had him last week as a trial piece. I think I'm going to hold on to him, Stork. This guy scored a couple goals last night. You got to think the Winnipeg
he's
Jets
only
won that.
24, that kid, too.
Yeah, he's a very good player. Every time I see the Jets, Gabe Vilardi. I mean, Vilardi was injured for a good chunk of this season, but when you look at it, Stork, I think we've talked about this before on this show. You got to think the Jets won that deal with Pierre-Luc Dubois going to the Kings.
You couldn't see it any other way right at this point.
Yeah, I follow Vilardi and was it Kupari? I can't remember.
Yeah.
They got another player. I'm not saying Kupari.
They got a minor leaguer too. So I mean, like,
yeah,
the Jets fared quite well.
I'll tip.
I mean, it's got to be better when you're getting the players that you got back for a guy that didn't want to be there. I mean, that's uplifting for the whole team and the organization and the fans. Dubois was not happy in Winnipeg. It was very clear. His play showed it, and it's kind of fitting that he's struggling in LA too. So
Yeah,
Winnipeg did all right.
I will tip my cap to Dubois though. He had a very good game last night against the Columbus Blue Jackets. He scored a couple of goals.
Oh, he's starting to wake up a little bit. So
yeah,
but I mean,
so
he's
the
a
Kings
good player. He's only 25 years old, but I think the problem is there was a time there that he thought he was better than he really was.
Yeah,
And
I remember.
you're getting paid NHL dollars. You got to put an effort every game because that's what you're getting paid for.
Yeah.
And I just didn't see a lot of effort from that guy when he was in Winnipeg.
Yeah, so we'll monitor the Kings. Did you see the Byfield goal last night? Quentin
I
Byfield.
did. Wasn't that
threaded
pretty?
the needle. Oh man, that guy, number 2 pick. I think he was a very good pick there by the Kings. I got excited watching that play. That was pretty. I put that on loop, buddy.
Yeah,
but,
that's why he's on my team right now. He's staying there.
Right on. That was a great play last night. If you haven't seen it, go check out the NHL YouTube. So, any final thoughts on the Grapevine, Stork? Do you think Donnie Boy's drinking too much whiskey? Or, by the way, we forgot to celebrate Donnie's birthday. I think you said he turned 90.
Yeah.
Or was he? Yeah. Or maybe we did mention him on the last show. That was back at the beginning of the month, around the commissioner's birthday. But
he's starting to show the Scorpions a little respect. I like that.
Yeah, you gotta see. You gotta tip your cap there to Donnie Boy finally recognizing the Langley Scorpion. I gotta admit, Stork, you are red hot. Ever since you ate some nails against Jimmy, I think you've turned it on quite.
Yeah, that woke me up. Those nails were rusty, and it didn't make me feel good.
So we'll see how you do the rest of the week against the champs. That's a big, big game for you.
Yes.
Let's see how it goes as the Don Cherry's matchup of the week continues. So let's move on to the real quick to the NHL current leaders right now for scoring. I had that up somewhere. Let's take a look at points, buddy. The points race is getting really, really interesting, but Nikita Kucherov still holds. I think Nathan McKinnon had the lead the last time we had a show, but Nikita Kucherov is at 94 points. Nathan McKinnon just 2 back of him at 92. He's had an MVP caliber season. And don't look now, Stork, but Connor McDavid, has climbed the charts. 10 assists last week, buddy. I think he had 6 assists in one game. He's at 83 points at number 3. So I think he can get back into it here if he gets.
I think he's going to win the race.
Wow. Yeah, let's
Guy's a monster,
that.
man. He's from another planet.
I agree with you. I think he's closer than the object, or whatever that saying is. Objects are closer than they appear in the mirror there. David Pastrnak, no slouch. He's at 80. Those two take on each other tonight, Stork, on TNT. I'm sure it's in Canada as well.
Yeah, big games tonight.
Boston at Edmonton, and I'm grabbing my popcorn for that one. That is the TNT doubleheader match. And then the Breadman, Artemi Panarin, is at 75 points. He's had a solid year. Did you watch that outdoor game? He had the game winner. What'd you think? First off, did you think that goal counted, or it counted? But did you like the call on that? Should that have been?
I think it was the right call, really. Yeah, I believe that was the right call there.
An epic stadium series against the Islanders. Islanders blew out. Did they have a 3-goal lead? I can't remember. They had a sizable lead.
Rangers, they were up 4-1 at one point.
Yeah. Mika Zibanejad power play goal was unbelievable. What a pass by your boy Adam Fox. Wait, do you have Adam Fox on your team?
I do.
Oh yeah,
I do.
He's a big reason the Langley Scorpions are. I know I've
my team's on a roll right now, scoring wise, and I'm hoping that I have a big rest of week 19 here and make that score a little closer after tomorrow night is what I'm aiming for. I'm looking for a big showdown for the weekend because I want that one really bad.
Yeah, I've changed my mind. I've been real critical of Adam Fox as a top-tier defenseman, but he's really shown it lately. Back to the outdoor games. They were so successful this weekend. I'm hearing rumblings by a lot of NHL media. I'm sure it would probably take some time, but in the States, in the college hockey, they have the bean pot. They're really wanting to keep this as a tradition, an outdoor tradition for these 4 teams. That's how successful the weekend was. And, that'd be pretty cool. Maybe having this once a weekend at that venue. The electricity was off the charts. I could feel it through the TV. I can't stand any one of those teams, personally, being a Capitals fan, but a really fun watch. The atmosphere was electric. And, that was the first matchup the Islanders and Rangers had played in the full calendar year, because they hadn't played since 2022. If you recall their Stork, their season series ended early last year. They didn't play any games in 2023. Their first matchup was this outdoor game. So
well, they must face each other a lot down the road then.
They'll be facing off a lot a couple more times here down the stretch as the season is winding down. But overall, I thought I'll tip my cap to the Bettman and the Shield there. I thought that was a great weekend of hockey.
Yeah, it was a good show.
Yeah, the ice looked really good.
It sure beat the All-Star game, that's for sure.
That's for sure. So, back to the points race. Let's take a look at goals. Your boy, Austin Matthews, has a chance to get to the 50-goal club already tonight as you guys take on the Arizona Coyotes. So Mr. Matthews sitting at 49.
And he might do it at home, too.
Yeah.
Hometown in Arizona.
That's right. So I'm sure he's playing for free tonight. Well, no, he's a pretty rich guy. He's probably got a lot of people in attendance that he probably shelled out tickets to. But the mullet only holds so many. That whole, I bet I'm willing to guarantee you, Stork, that it's probably 80 to 90% Leafs fans in there tonight.
Yeah, well, between that and of course Matthew Nyes is also an Arizonian, and
is that right?
Yeah, he's got 40 tickets booked for his friends and family.
Yeah. Consider that a slam dunk for a percentage of Leafs fans. I thought Nyes might have been a Minnesota guy, so
he's from Arizona.
Okay. Sammy Reinhart. It seems like I haven't heard too much from him lately, but he has 39. But the Florida Panthers, Stork, are continuing to roll. Tkachuk's the guy that's been hot. Sammy Reinhart, though, an impressive season, 39 goals. The Caps got to play them Saturday, and I'm not looking forward to seeing that. But there's your boy Nikita Kucherov of the Wendigo. He's at 36 goals. David Pasternak, another Wendigo at 35. Man, the Wendigo are solid. And then Nathan McKinnon, part of Huma, has 33 goals. So those are your top 5 goal scorers. Reinhardt, by the way, on the Frozen Norseman. In goal, Aiden Hill still leads percentage of GAA, 2.37 goals against. I think he lost last night to the Nashville Predators, though. Hellebuck, he took a hit on Monday, gave up quite a few goals to the Calgary Flames, but he is number 2 overall. He's done a good job for the Addicts Americans, 2.20 GAA. John Quick, a backup, 2.36. Shesty's got to watch himself, Stork. John Quick is playing himself and maybe into some conversation once the playoffs roll around. Shesty's still phenomenal, but John Quick, not a bad backup there in New York. Joey DeCord out here in Seattle, a 2.37. He lost on Monday. I watched that game. He didn't look that great, but he's had a phenomenal season for the Kraken. And then your boy Jeremy Swayman, 2.39 back there. He's the all-star. So a good job there by Jeremy Swayman at number 5. And wins, your boy Alexander Gorgiev, another reason Stork's been winning, climbing up the charts. 30 wins this year. That's a lot of wins. And Dave's goalie, Thatcher Demko, for the Vancouver Canucks, 30. They played each other last night. And the Avalanche won that battle. Sergei Bobrovsky, part of Huma. Julio's goaltender, he's got 28. Connor Hellebuck has 26. And rounding up the top 5, Stu Skinner, after a terrible start, he's got 25 wins, Stork. Anything standing out to you in the NHL overall category leads? I know for you, Gorgiev has been unbelievable.
Yeah, he has been. He's been good for me. He's had a couple of rough outings over the last 2 weeks or so, but he's the deal in Colorado right now. So I'm sure he'll keep going. They have a young backup, but he's not ready to take the job yet. So Gorgiev is going to get a lot more ice time before the season's over, which is good for me. And of course, like you mentioned, Swayman, my co-netminder there, all-star showing, and he's the future number 1 in Boston, I'm sure. So, like I said before, with this scoring race, every time you stare at the standings or the scoring race every couple of days, you see Connor McDavid moving up a spot, moving up 2 spots. This guy, I say right now, before the end of March, he's going to be first. You watch.
Yeah.
He's going to be in first in the scoring. The guy's an animal. I mean, he just is. So, I'm watching that race. It reminds me of what Mario Lemieux did in the 90s when he missed. He was way behind the scoring. I forget who he was chasing, but he got hurt and he missed like 25, 30 games or something like that. He came back. He was like 45 points behind or something.
Yeah.
And he came back and he won the scoring title that year.
Well, back in that decade, it seemed like the scoring leaders were just 3 guys. It was Gretzky, Lemieux, or Yager, right?
Or Sakic.
Or Sakic.
Put Sakic in there.
Yeah, I remember. I remember when Lemieux was hurt, and he had an ungodly amount.
He came back and he won the race. He was getting 5-point nights, 4-point nights, 6-point nights.
Yeah, great goaltending back then. But I will tip my cap. Lemieux destroyed my caps.
Yeah, so it kind of reminds me of what Lemieux did in the 90s. This McDavid guy. Yeah. I mean, if you remember the beginning of the season, he was way back in the pack. He wasn't playing well.
Yeah, he was dinged up.
He was angry. He was banged up. And then all of a sudden, whammo, he just started going crazy. And he carried Edmonton to where they are right now, really.
Yep. So, yeah, we have 3 weeks left, and that's a big reason Alex and the Cherry Bombs are where she is, Connor McDavid. So, we got some great matchups to remain. Like we said, next week is our last non-divisional matchup where the races are tight. Gretzky versus Ovechkin's real tight, but we'll preview that here. Adna will take on DuPont. Langley will take on Nova Fire Brigade. And DB Cooper will have the Killer Bunnies. That'll be a challenge for Dan Hall, but maybe he can get the upset of the year. The Woody Woodpeckers, that is probably the matchup of the week. They're going to take on Julio's Huma. Cherry Bombs and Probert Etiquette. That's going to be a really good one. And then the Wendigo take on the Frozen Norseman. If I ever ask Nick for a favor,
that'll be it right there.
I need you to win that. I mean, first of all, I got to take care of business against the Wendigo this week. But so that's next week, Stork, in week 20. I'm sure we'll talk more about that later. And then the wrap up the regular season, it's the last divisional rivalry week. Adna will take on Nova. Langley will take on DuPont. Huma and DB Cooper, that's an explosive match. DB Cooper, maybe he's resting guys. I don't know. But Woody Woodpeckers will take on the Cherry Bombs. That probably is the matchup of the week for that one. That could be very well for the Ovechkin. Probert has a tough matchup with Nick and the Frozen Norseman. And then the Killer Bunnies take on the Wendigo. Maybe that's the favor I asked Dan Hall. Get your first ever divisional win against Wayland. Well, I'm excited, Stork.
Yeah, it's going to be it's going to be a fun race. If you look at it, the remaining games for the rest of the season, I mean, we got some huge playoff style games coming up, and it's going to be a lot of snot flying for the next 3 weeks that I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Because this is what we talked about at the beginning of the season. We wanted to see parity in this league. And a bunch of teams fighting and clawing and leapfrogging each other throughout the season. And here we are. I'm looking at the remaining games, and we got some huge games coming up. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, sir. It's my favorite time of year. NHL trade deadline is the beginning of March. I can't remember the exact date.
I think it's the third. I think it
third,
is.
because the third is If that's true, that's a Sunday in my book. They usually do it during the weekday.
Oh, it wouldn't be the third then. No, it's not the third. It's probably the 5th. I'll look it up.
Okay. But our trade deadline, like I said, is a week from today, about this time, about an hour ago. So get those trades in, league managers, if you plan on. So, yeah, we've pretty much run the gauntlet here. Stork, any new hockey cards?
No, I haven't actually lately. I've been buying a lot of supplies to put my cards away. So
yeah, good call.
Yeah, it's I like to keep everything organized. So I redid my bookshelf and everything. Oh, there you go.
Well, I mean, I've had some Amazon gift cards, but what I'm doing, Stork, is I'm trading these into my wife, and she's gonna let me go on to one of my favorite shops because hockey cards here in the States are so damn expensive on Amazon. I get them for cheaper at the actual card place. I just don't know what it is about Amazon, but I've still got my Christmas gift cards here. I've also got an eBay card. I'm not sure what to do with it.
I'll give those to Denise and head up to the card store. Where is it in your? Is it? In Seattle or what?
Well, we've got one in Tacoma. It's the best one around for us.
Tacoma, yeah.
And it's been a while. It's kind of a trek, but the problem with them is they're never open on Sundays. They're always Monday through Saturdays. Nice. Yeah, I don't know why they're not open on Sundays. They'd get way more business from me at least.
They would.
But, yeah, I mean that's hockey cards have been kind of my disposable income, and I just haven't had a lot of disposable income. We talked about it earlier, Stork, before the show started.
Well, you should also maybe, Jimmy, you should also look at my store up here in Langley.
Yeah.
Pastime.
I actually used that for you once.
When you got American dollars, you might be able to get some good deals there.
We'll give it a gander because I remember sending you some cards from that store. And
Yeah,
and
I'm going
the
there in another 3 weeks or so.
okay.
Daryl Settler's going to be there doing some signings. So
Oh,
yeah, so I'm going to be going there, getting a picture and an autograph with him.
wow.
Yeah, so that'll be cool.
I'll get you offline. I might have to get a card of his.
Yeah,
I got a little care package for you. I'm just trying to make sure my customs form's sent out because I
well,
want this to get to you
worry
faster.
about it when you got the money,
Yeah.
man. No hurry.
Oh no, this is
I'm
coming to
not
you. Like,
going anywhere.
yeah. So that's the card talk for the week. Anything else in the NHL, buddy? We got a jam pack. There's only 5 games tonight, but
But
we
there's
got the
some good
Flyers.
games.
We got the Flyers, the surprising Flyers taking on Bedard. Bedard's back. He's done a great job. Either one of these teams. I mean, I actually like watching the Blackhawks. They're not a very good team, but they entertain me. Bedard's Bedard. So that's one of the games. You got the Montreal Canadiens, the Buffalo Sabres, 2 teams that aren't going to make the playoffs, but they still can light it up. You got Cole Caulfield. Tage Thompson's been putting a couple of goals here and there. They've been disappointing. They're the one team I had in the playoffs, but that's a matchup I'll check in. Your Leafs and the Coyotes, that's going to be a great game. I know I'm missing a match. The Ducks and Blue Jackets is probably the only game I'm not excited about, but I still like watching. I like watching
Still
Leo
got
Carlsson.
Edmonton, Boston tonight, so that'll be
Yeah,
good.
and that's my main event. I think you'll still be watching Coyotes Leafs when that one starts.
Well, my game doesn't start till 7 tonight, our time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll have to be following you for your comments on that. Let's see if Austin Matthews can get another Hattie,
I
man.
hope he goes off and gets another
Yeah,
5-point night. That's what I'm hoping.
I have a feeling I picked the Leafs tonight in my predictions. Coyotes are kind of dwindling right now. They were looking pretty good, and I think they hit a wall.
They're
They're having
young, man. They're a young team. They still have a lot of growing to do.
Yeah, Vimelka's been getting much of the workload now because Ingram is out, and they had another young kid. I can't remember his name. I want to say maybe he's a Finland product, but he made his debut Monday. But the Coyotes are there for the taking for your Leafs, buddy. And like we said, I'm excited as a hockey fan to watch McDavid versus Pasternak. I think that's going to be a great matchup. Unless Boston throws up a dud because they traveled to the West Coast. But that is pretty much all I got, buddy. Enjoy the hockey, man, and good luck in your matchup, and good luck to everybody else's matchups. For the deputy Kevin Stork up there in Canada, I'm the mailman, the commissioner, Jimmy Melstead. This was episode 14 of the Storks Desk. I got kind of a busy schedule this weekend. Beer League was off this past week, so I might not be here for a commissioner's report, but we'll get together next week for episode 15, Stork. Let's do it, buddy.
All right, man.
It's we should do it. We should do a trade deadline special. See if any of you,
that's fine. Yeah.
see if any one of you managers get a trade in last second. I'm willing to take some offers on Tage Thompson. Let's do it, man. All right.
I'll have a look.
For the deputy, I'm the commish. It's a great day for hockey. See you guys next week.
Take care.
Later. Good show, Stork.